What's up, everybody? You're back in here with the Pro Football Pod. You've got Hulk, you've got Coach, wherever he's at on the screen for you. We appreciate you guys stopping in for this. I almost said Oakland. Almost did it. The Las Vegas Raiders season preview, 7-round mock draft coming at you. Smash that subscribe button. For every 500 subscribers, we're giving away a free jersey. We want to give away these jerseys to you guys. Help us, help you. Coach, Raiders got a new quarterback, kind of takes that off the board for us here a little bit. So we're going to pivot a little, looking into this, talking about this a little pre-show. I'm excited to do this draft because the positions the Raiders need, those are kind of the positions you want to be able to draft. They're the exciting positions, but Raiders need playmakers. We're going to do our best to give it to you guys. Tell us down below if we screw up. We need to know. We want to do better to help you guys do better. Pete Carroll's coming to town. He's going to be the new head coach for you guys. You also added Geno Smith, Raheem Mostert at running back, Jeremy Chin at safety, Alex Kappa at guard. Lost a lot of your defense. Robert Spillane, Nate Hobbs, Levine Diablo, Trevon Moehrig. A lot of the defense is gone. So a lot of our focus in this mock draft will be on the defensive side. But we know our boy Geno, he needs some help.
He does.
Because it's outside of Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. Yeah, that's like
he's had a solid career, but he's not getting.
We can do better. We can do better. No shade, Jacoby. We just we can do better. So hey, 9 picks. Let's go ahead and dive into it. 6th pick coming up on the board. Tech McMillan goes before us. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham. Tet McMillan. All right, kind of makes sense. The first 5 picks going before us. Pre-show, we were kind of going back and forth here of, what are we thinking? What are we looking at? After thinking about it, and, I didn't even say this. I just started looking at it more. Bringing in Raheem Mostert, I don't know how much that makes you just want to throw Ashton Jeanty in there. As much as I want to, I think Raheem gives you a little bit of flexibility there, right? Okay. So, also, I don't see Will Campbell being a glaring need. We know we don't need Tyler Warren. Malachi Starks, I think this is a little too high for him. Also, I don't know if safety's the right pick for him here this high. So to me, at this point, it's either trade back for some value to try to go back and maybe snag up a wide receiver, get a couple extra picks, or Jahdae Barron. Because they need desperate help at corner. Like, we've got Jack Jones out there. Like, okay. Like, he's solid, but he has been kind of falling off. Eric Stokes coming over from the Packers. Okay. But, like, again, the Jacoby Myers thing. Like, we can do better. So I do think they need some help there. So for my thoughts on this pick right here, I'm thinking Jahdae Barron. Or I'm thinking trade back and pick up extra picks and take a wide receiver, maybe Will Johnson if he's still there for you.
Now, looking at the trade back, 9, 10, 11, from 9 to 20, we could trade anywhere in that position. If we're looking to go wide receiver, I think sticking right around like 15, we're going to definitely be able to get something.
Let's do this. Let's look at what's on the board with the teams that are behind us. And who would be trading up for who is the way I look at it here.
So
we've got the Jets, Panthers, and Saints.
And Will Campbell are the two biggest, somebody's going to want these two players. Ashton Jeanty, even with all these running backs that are available, he's still far and ahead the most valuable running back on anybody's board. Will Campbell is going to be the first tackle taken in this draft, and for good reason.
Do you think Chicago would trade up for Jeanty?
I think so, because I think honestly,
because I'm trying to look at it
as potentially trade up for Jeanty as well.
See, because I'm trying to look at it as the Jets, Panthers, Saints, Bears, Niners, to me, are all taking very different positions.
Yes.
So I'm looking at the guys whose who is valuable enough to want to trade up to pick number 6 in the first round? Tyler Warren's somebody I could see a team maybe trying to trade up for. If the Dolphins were feeling frisky to trade up for a Will Campbell,
I think that's a potential right there. You look at who else is going to need tackle. The Jets are likely going to be taking tackle. San Francisco could be looking to the tackle of the
needs
future.
O-line.
So I think the Dolphins trading up to 13, and that's an ideal spot to fall back to.
Also, though, I could see the Dolphins trading up, maybe not necessarily for Will Campbell, but maybe Armand Membu as well. Big Membu fan.
Of course.
And we've got to look ahead of, is Patrick Paul coming along enough to behind Armstead? So I do like the thought of the Dolphins trading up for a tackle because of the teams above them. The Saints, the Bears, the Cowboys, they all have running back listed as a need. So is Ashton GNT really a guy that would be worth coming up to with the other running backs that are on the board and with how deep this running back class is? I'm with you. I think the value with the top end O lineman is probably where somebody's going to look to trade up for, especially at this point if a Will Campbell or Armand Membu are still there.
And with the trade calculator, I mean, being able to get 13, 48, and 116, they're saying this is 100% going to be accepted just because of trading up, 7, 8 spots.
Take away 48 and do 98 because it's going to get accepted no matter what because we're the Raiders doing the pick. So, it'll get accepted. I don't think coming up from 13 to 6 is going to cost the Dolphins that much.
Wow, they'll literally they'll give us the whole draft. That's a little bit crazy.
So, I think 13, 98, and 135 would be, to me, good enough value for the Raiders to want to move back here. So let's do that. Let's hope the Dolphins go ahead and take Will Campbell. All right, good call. Membu ended up going. GNT went 9 to the Saints, so the Bears coming up for that pick would have made some sense. Shadur Sanders to the Jets at 7.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it in the Jags video that the Jets taking Shadur and having Justin Fields is just like a safety.
It's quarterback. It's the one outlier to where you can get mad at it, but teams are always going to take a shot. Daniel Jones went in the top 15 for a reason.
Now Jahdae Brown's gone,
but
Will Johnson still being here. I really like him a lot as a prospect.
Luther Burden.
But my guy right here, Emeka Egbuka. I know that it's a bit of a reach.
I do know Emeka is your guy. For me, between the two, I would have to lean with Luther because I think Luther is more of a playmaker and would complement Jacoby more than Emeka would. Now, Jacoby very well might be there for one more season.
Yeah.
But I think Luther would give you that more of a playmaking ability. So, yeah, my choice would be Luther Burden or Will Johnson. However, I love Emeka Egbuka. So for him to be the pick, I would not be mad at it. I'm looking at, we need playmakers on this team, and I think Luther Burden's the better playmaker. Whereas Emeka is just a very overall solid wide receiver.
Polished. He's already as good as he needs to be to play in the NFL.
Pull up wide receiver, because we pick again at 37.
Yes.
All right, so Illuminor, I don't think Golden will be there. Jack Beck, Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris there at 68. Jalen Noel. Honestly, I think go Will Johnson. I think the depth at wide receiver is still there.
And then we could also go running back at 37 and then take wide receiver at 68.
Let's go Will Johnson right here. So we move back, pick up a couple extra picks, get Will Johnson. Love that for us. And running back, wide receiver. We just took corner for him.
I like taking Jaden Higgins here, if we're being honest. Mm-hmm. Another one would be Quinshon Judkins. Caleb
But see, with
Johnson's.
Dylan Sampson, Caleb Johnson, all of those guys, Travion Henderson still might being available
Yeah,
for us at the next pick. I'm
and
with
Jaden
you. I think
Higgins is the better.
I
He's
wish my guy Restrepo would have ran a better 40 because getting them a good slot wide receiver in there would have been awesome just to, take some pressure off of Brock in those
agreed.
situations. But I do think that's going to affect him a little bit. My guy's a dog though. So like I don't want to be a homer and say give me Restrepo over Higgins, but Higgins is an animal.
He
Like
is
6'4", 215, great speed, great hands. Like I think Higgins is the pick here as well.
Higgins is my closest comp to like what Brian Thomas was coming out last year. He's not
Okay.
quite the
I like
same,
that. I
but
like that.
he's the closest I've seen in this year's draft.
Okay. I like that comparison.
So now we've got Dylan Sampson still there, Travion Henderson. These are this is my number 3 and my number 4 running back, or maybe my number 3 and number 5. I think I had guy from
I think we talked about this in another
Caleb Johnson
episode.
earlier.
If I'm choosing between the two, I would go Travion
Agreed.
because I feel like he's built more to be able to handle a workload over Dylan Sampson being 5'11", 201, Travion sitting at 5'10", 208. Like, so they are about the same size.
It's the way that they play, though. Travion's a little bit more physical.
They are built differently. Like,
Yeah.
where they do show about the same size, Travion to me is more compact, to where Dylan is more of your electrifying wide, like, running back. Give him the ball, let him make a play. My preference is Travion. I'm on legit cool with either one of those guys. I just think Travion
of them having Raheem, I think that Sampson and Raheem are going to be a lot like the Dolphins setup right now. Whereas I think that the Dolphins are making a big mistake in drafting the same running back over and over again. Having somebody that's a little bit more of a 3 down, he can do some run blocking. He can run in tight gaps. Like, he's not just a speed guy. Not that Dylan Sampson's just a speed guy. I really do love his game. But yeah, Travion Henderson's my pick here. Easy.
Yeah, I like Travion.
Now we're picking again at 98. This is another
All right, we got some
draft picks that we got for free.
Solid safeties on the board for us. We still got some good corners out here. Let's see here. Like I said, I don't think O-line is oh God, let's panic and get somebody out here. I wouldn't be mad at doubling up on wide receiver, corner. We need some linebacker help because Landon Roberts isn't getting any younger and you ain't got nobody behind him. So let's see. We got Bassa.
He should be there at our next pick or right before.
He should be. Parrish will still be there. Kobe Bryant. All right, so we can look at corner that spot.
I kind of like taking safety here.
Ransom or Makuba.
Okay,
Ransom's giving you some box. He's giving you some outside, like
little versatility.
Makuba's also giving you some box. He is the smaller of the two. Like, I feel like as far as like NFL size, Ransom's probably the better guy, but Makuba is better in coverage.
Yeah.
As far as like a ball hawk, and where I'm looking at it as I'm looking at their roster, and they've got Jeremy Chin, he is more of a strong safety style. So I think as far as trying to get your middle of the field free safety guy, I think Makuba would be the pick.
Okay. Getting a little bit of that speed, a little bit more of a coverage guy, not quite like kind of bring him up to the line. Big games versus big competition too. Played really well against Georgia.
Look at that right there at the bottom left. 0 touchdowns allowed, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, gotta love that. I like taking that. I mean, at that point, we're going double corner. Or I'm sorry, we've already got our corner.
Yeah, we need help in the back there on the back end with DB. So I like that pick there. I like what, I think there is going to be some value at linebacker for us down there.
So Boss is still there.
Yeah, I think Kaiser. I want to look at Kaiser for
He
Cody
would be there
Simon,
at
Lindenberg
135
down there.
potentially.
Like, so linebacker, we still got some depth that we can work with. Like I said, I'm not mad at doubling up on wide receiver. Torrey Horton still being there is intriguing to me. Corner, doubling up on corner to me. I feel like there is some value there with Kobe Bryant, Mello Dobson, Jacob Parrish. Kobe Bryant, he's my guy.
Yeah.
Like I said, he is the smaller stature guy, but he's a dog. And I'm pretty certain he said he was named after Kobe Bryant. They just spelt it differently on purpose.
Nice. Barrett's not going to be there on our next pick, but Jack Kaiser could be.
I like Torrey Horton a lot. I think Torrey Horton gives you some value. So to me, honestly, like with the positions of need and where the board's laying, like linebacker, they absolutely need some help. Pull up Jeffrey Bassett for the people here. Let's take a look at him because I like his game a lot. He's just an overall solid guy. He's giving you the prototypical size. We have some extra picks here because of how we've worked this. He's just your in the box linebacker.
He's definitely
your
developed
thumper.
a lot since his first year. 16 missed tackles is quite a bit, but to develop to the point where that's no longer an issue in your game. A little bit of pass rushing snaps, decent grades, but his missed tackle rate going up such a big percentage. I mean, that's massive.
I think the move here to me would be doubling up on corner because I think wide receiver and linebacker we still have some depth. That we can work with. So my pick on that would be Kobe Bryant, just because I think dude's a baller. I don't care about the smaller size for him. It's not an Emmanuel Forbes situation.
And we already have Will Johnson, who's giving us that size at 6'2", 202.
Yep.
So now we're kind of filling up that slot role. Right now, PFF has Darnay Holmes as their slot, and he's had an abysmal career. So Kobe Bryant
we brought in 2 corners. Why are we drafting 2? Because you need the freaking help. That's why.
So at this point, it's kind of going to be best player available.
Jack Kaiser. I can say that with no hesitation. We need help at linebacker.
Really?
Dude's a freaking stud.
I mean, Geno Smith's 10 years?
They signed him to a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked to see them take a quarterback at some point in this draft.
Dylan Gabriel being here is
But I feel like at least this first season you need to build around it. Because, you still got Quinn Ewers. There's still some solid quarterbacks on the board here for you that are dropping. So I do think quarterback's going to be one of our picks. Just for me, what we need right now, I think we bring in Jack Kaiser, and I think he's going to be a guy that Pete Carroll just loves.
Yeah, he's a super senior, going to be 24. You're going to get him at the prime. Really, really great 2023.
And yes, that is a downside. Like you're drafting somebody that's older, but the way I see it is a little more seasoned, a little wiser. He's ready to hit the field now. He might not be. You might not get 12, 15 years out of him, but you're going to get a really solid 8 years out of this guy.
I wouldn't hate taking Quinn Ewers here. We've already drafted a lot of our needs. I know that
versus the pressure, though.
Yeah. I think that he could potentially be one of those guys that develops really well.
What other quarterbacks are on the board? Just to see what our options are. See, I like McCord, Tyler Shuck, Curtis Rourke, Brady Cook. So for me, I like Kyle McCord a lot more than I like Quinn Ewers.
Okay.
To me, I wouldn't be mad at getting them some O-line help. Luke Kandra right there, you've got him pulled up. Very solid offensive lineman that you could plug in the middle, just give you some versatility there. Alex Kappa, guy's been in the league since 2018, so he's not getting any younger. You do have generally a young O-line that you're working with here. So I think just getting somebody in there to help develop and give you some possible depth down the road, something you absolutely want to look at, especially just with having all of these picks here.
I mean,
Luke
Luke
Kandra, I
Kandra
think,
plays right guard his whole career as well.
yeah, and that's what Alex Kappa's coming into play for you. Powers Johnson can give you some guard ability as well. I think you just bring in a guard like Kandra, or we could wait on a guy like Colby or Tyler Cooper just to fill it out later.
I like
I think
drafting for team need this early. We're in round 5.
Yeah, we're still in 5. Pull up. Have we doubled up on wide receiver?
No, we just took Jaden Higgins.
Yep, pull up the wide receivers for us.
Kobe Hudson.
Kobe Hudson, take another Kobe for us. Drop rate is high. You don't like to see that. Nick Nash, he is going to be on the older side, but very productive wide receiver last year. Triple Crown winner, Kyle Williams. Chris Sims, number 2 overall wide receiver in this draft.
Seriously, that's nuts.
Yeah. Dude is a baller.
I mean, played for a small school, doesn't have a lot of competition. But those numbers are very, I mean, 14 touchdowns, 101 targets on 70 receptions, 1,200 yards. Like, that's
not a high drop rate. Great versus man. Great contested catch rate. Like, I wouldn't be mad at taking Kyle Williams here. Like I said, we need to get playmakers on this roster.
Yeah,
it's
I
right
like
in his range. He's not going to be there for us next go. Let's go ahead and take Kyle Williams. Kyle McCord. Don't even have to think twice.
Wow, really did have a good.
He had a phenomenal season last year. I wish Ohio State would have, let him try to get that starting job. However, that worked out instead of going for Will Howard. But yeah, Kyle McCord was a baller, and I think he's in the 6th round. Great quarterback prospect for you to build up behind Geno.
Now, we did take our early running back, Travion Henderson.
Our guy, Teddy Buchanan's down there. We like him a good bit. Like I said, we lost 2 linebackers. We need to get some help in there. Jason Marshall's coming. Like, he's more of a project. You're just kind of hoping for something there. Oronde Gadsden would give them a very different tight end than Bowers, but they do still have Michael Mayer.
I was gonna say if they traded Mayer, then maybe I'd be okay with that.
Malachi Moore's very solid for a safety prospect for him.
Very versatile player too.
We did take his safety for them.
We did. Yeah, we took.
And I don't want to double up on too many positions, but whenever you have this much turnover, or these many picks, that's going to end up happening. Let's go back to the O-line. Let's get them some help on the O-line if we can. Let's see what the board's looking like there.
We never ended up getting interior.
All right. So Jake Majors would allow you to move Powers Johnson back to guard if need be. Jackson Slater, small school guy.
Really great.
Just overall, and this is the point in the draft too, where you are taking these small school guys that can try to give you, like Jake Majors is a center, like through and through. That dude is a center. So I like what he can give you as far as allowing more versatility with Powers Johnson.
Timothy McKay has kind of developed a bit.
Too close to Timothy McVeigh. We can't have the Unabomber out here.
Don't really need tackle help.
We don't, but it's never bad to have good swing tackles for you. Like, he is predominantly left tackle, but he did give you at right tackle. So for me, I think I wouldn't be mad at Pierce or Slater here. Majors, like I said, he gives allows Powers Johnson to move over if Majors develops.
Because that's what they drafted Jackson Powers Johnson to be, as a guard.
Yeah,
right?
interior O-line. Like they drafted him to be a guard. He played center by necessity, but he did play some center at Oregon as well. So like we knew he
That he
gave
was
you
good
that
at both.
versatility. So to me, where Jake Majors has just been a center, my preference would be more towards Slater. Like where he's been a guard, you see he has some experience at tackle for you.
Yeah.
I think he's just the overall more versatile offensive lineman.
And I mean, looking at his grades, I realize that it's a smaller school, but 3 hurries last year compared
He
to
hasn't allowed a
13
sack in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Jake Majors hasn't allowed a sack in the last 2 seasons.
13
but-
hurries though is, I mean, it's not like it's everything.
No, and his grades are really good. He's a really, like, whenever you get a center, like he gives you what you're looking for. My preference for this team would be Slater, as far as not a guy we need to start now, but you might be a guy that allows us some versatility.
Yeah, let's do it. Picking again really soon.
Jake Majors is still there.
I think honestly, I like that. I like getting both.
Well, yeah, do it. It's either him or Teddy Buchanan for me right here. And
Yeah.
Teddy Buchanan's still there. Like,
So
we're just filling
let's
out the
draft
board.
him.
Like, we're just filling out the board with our guys right here. Love doing that. Love doing that right
So
there.
they wanted us to draft defensive interior TJ Sanders, which I don't
Okay.
really see. Tyree Wilson is only a second-year player. Christian Wilkins is a top 5 at the position. They gave us an A+
A- for Travion Henderson,
for
A+
Will
for
Johnson.
Will Johnson.
Jaden
Still got a
Higgins,
B- for Jaden.
B+ overall. The only one they really didn't like was Jackson Slater. They would have preferred Jake Majors, but
Pick rocks.
we got both. And then
Yeah.
they loved getting Kyle McCord a little bit late. Developmental guy.
This draft right here, like this to me is a Pete Carroll draft through and through.
Yeah.
And if I'm a Raiders fan, I don't know if there's anything necessarily I would argue with this. You can yell at us in the comments, tell us we should have taken a wide receiver higher than we did. You can tell us we shouldn't have taken Will Johnson. That's fine.
If
That's
you
awesome.
guys really want Matthew Golden and all these guys, watch Jaden Higgins. Watch this guy's game. He's a route running 6'4". He has enough speed to play in the NFL with some of the most dependable hands in the draft.
Yep.
This guy is going to be a number 1. Not necessarily
Will
this year.
Johnson,
And
Jaden
Will
Higgins,
Johnson, I mean-
Travion Henderson is a home run of the first 3 picks.
Literally. And then Andrew, like the first 3 rounds, that's a lot of solid youthful talent that's going to help this team get to where it needs to be. And then Kyle McCord gets to get the Tom Brady treatment for the next couple of years. Let's go.
What I see when I look at the top part of our draft right there, production.
Yeah.
Like I see just proven production out of all of those guys, all the way down to Kyle McCord. Like just proven production. So, hey, if you agree with us, if you disagree with us, tell us in the comments. We love all of the feedback. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. I don't know what you're doing. You're just wasting your time. We're throwing out videos for you guys every week throughout the season. TulsiRoseTea.com is the sponsor. 500 subs. We're giving away a jersey. Do it for us, your family. We love you guys. Peace out.